Hey, welcome back to another Broker Playbook. This is Andy Price at Price Mortgage, broker owner here. Today we're going to be talking about reinvesting in your team and the things that I've done to do so. Why is it important to reinvest in your team? Well, I mean, those are the people that are taking care of your customers. They take care of you. They help you with everything that it takes to run your company. I mean, they're critical players. You invest in them and they invest in you. They invest in your customers. So, it's give and take. You can't just take. But even more importantly, you want them to feel important. You want them to know that they're appreciated. So, for me personally, I think one of the big things we try to do is just offer them help, education when they need it. We try to do quarterly events as a company, just random things, buy lunch here and there for them, give them a gift card somewhere, tell them good job. It doesn't have to be huge extravagant things. They just need to know that you're thinking of them and you appreciate them and just helping them with whatever it is that they're having problems with. For me personally, one is if I brought somebody into the team or had a team, I knew one, I wanted to be busy enough to have that person, but also to make sure that they were making enough money to make it worth their time. Because last thing you want to do is hire somebody and then they're struggling, you're struggling, and then there's already tension. It's already a problem. That's just not a good way to start. You want to make sure that when you're bringing in people to your team, you need them to grow, but you also need to be at a certain point where it makes financial sense for you, and it also makes financial sense and is fair to that person, where you can make sure they're getting paid a base or whatever it is to get on their feet, and then you can slowly trickle them into maybe more of a bonus or commission structure as time goes on. But I think that's one of the things that sometimes happens is people maybe jump the gun on that a little too quick. Sometimes they do it too late too. Sometimes you're just buried and you should have done it a little sooner. So it's trying to find that right time to add the first person, the next person, things like that. I also think when it comes to teams, like, you just want to make sure you're not asking them to do anything you wouldn't do yourself, whether it's a phone call, whether it's making a late phone call, or taking time on a weekend if it's needed to help a customer. So, and just setting proper expectations for them and you, and to be, I guess, attentive to and appreciative of their time that they need away with their family and things like that. So we can all kind of have time not working and be able to do things we want to do besides, having to be on call to help somebody out. So I think that's a big thing. I mean, we always try to do something around, Christmas time, the holidays, make sure we do something nice with everybody where everybody can get together, but it's also in an environment where people can talk and there's not a lot of distractions as far as taking away from just the team interacting. Cause most of the time when we're interacting together, it's loan stuff, it's business, it's got to do this, got to do that, back and forth, it's hectic. So when we get to have these events, it's important that it's things that you can interact with them and talk to them. And I think like this last year, one of the big ones that we did, I felt like was probably the biggest hit, was we went to one of those little like speed derby go-kart places, and we told everybody to bring their kids. And we hadn't really done anything like that with kids before. And it was really good. It was fun to have everybody with their families, meet all their kids. All the kids, got to play and just have fun. They didn't have to leave as fast because they didn't have to go back to a babysitter and things like that. So it was just a lot of fun. So I think it's important to try to do things too, where it's not just the employee, like it's their plus one, it's their kids, it's their husband, it's their wife, their significant other. So that everybody gets to meet each other and we get to get a little bit of more of a glimpse into just who they are and who their family is, and just get to know each other better and can appreciate people more. I think the more you get to know people and understand, just the way they are and where they come from, it helps. And we can all be more maybe empathetic with things coming up, or we know who they're talking about, or just any of those things just makes people a little more feel like a bigger family in a sense. I think we'll do some, like we usually do with the loan officers, we do monthly meetings, which we kind of just go over things, maybe show them how to do things in the LOS, things like that. But I mean, most of the things that I feel like you do are event based, other than, hey, what does everybody want for lunch? Let's order lunch and just pick it up, just take care of the team so that everybody has to worry about it. Just little gestures, or, hey, gonna grab coffees. Who wants a coffee? Or maybe you get something in from a client and you make sure everybody gets some of it, you share it, or just bring in donuts or what, just little things. I always like personally, I think on a daily basis, and it's not a big expense. And I think I've been at places where they don't do it, and it's just crazy to me. It's like we make sure there's always snacks in there in the break room, and there's drinks, and there's just stuff in there for people to come in and grab something. And we have like a really good ice machine, like the crunchy, the good Sonic ice, we call it. But just things like that. It's those little touches that just on a daily basis, it makes people feel a little bit more appreciated, rather than just like, oh yeah, you need to go get your own water, or oh, you want something to eat, well, or a snack, well, you better go down to the convenience store there and grab it. So just doing those little extra things like that, I think just people really appreciate it, and it's not hard to do, and you'll never miss the money. It goes a lot further than any few dollars you're going to save not doing that. A lot of it's just on demand. One thing is when people come on board, we want to make sure that they have a good laptop. If they need one, we get them one, or if they want to use the company one, there's a laptop, here's screens, you need a dock at home to work at home when you need to work at home, here's a dock. You just try to make sure, one, that they have good equipment. It's not fun buying maybe nicer things sometimes. Maybe we want to get away with kind of making a laptop go a couple extra years, but the better your equipment is, and when people know that they have nice things, and anytime they need something, you're just gonna get it. Oh, your monitor's screwed up, your screen here, we'll just right away you get it taken care of. Equipment's a big one. I mean, there's not a lot of like true overhead. We don't have materials. We don't have a lot of supplies in the broker space. It's all just pretty much paperwork. So it's important to invest in your actual hardware. I think have good internet. Just not cutting corners on little things like that can just make your day much more frustrating if your computer's slow, or you're whatever. Having a tech guy on hand to help out with things quickly, having other people that reinvesting in like your ops where they can help with like tech issues too, or just point, like if you're using Point or Arrive or whatever, just people that know how to jump in and do things. We also do allocate a good amount of money into marketing, a marketing guy that helps, like the loan officers and things like that. So that to me is investing in your team, because that helps them grow their business to have that resource available. The other thing we put money in, as far as like with our marketing guy, he does coding and things too. So he can help, like we've been building out an intranet for a while. So we're slowly keeping to add on like, just different things in there for people to access, whether it's flyers or just looking at their numbers, or, HR links, things to help them with setting up their, insurance, 401ks. I think that's another big part of reinvesting in your team, is having benefits available. Like once you get to that point, is there an option for them to have insurance or 401k, and are you matching that? Are you contributing to them in their future? Those are more company related than a team, but for me as a broker owner, like basically that is my team, is the company. And but just making sure people have all those bits and pieces of things that just help them in the long run, and also today. One other thing, like we have planned, we're doing a Fiesta Bowl sponsorship this year, just to kind of get our name out there a little bit. But what that allowed us to do was have a bunch of tickets and a suite and things. So one of the kind of fun things we're doing here at the beginning of the year is a lot of the ops people, and also big producers, kind of top producers and people who've been here a long time, things like that. They're all going to get to go, and we'll have a lot of fun doing that. I know that kind of goes back to event things, but that's kind of one of my first kind of next big investment, I would say, in team, just to go do something cool like that you don't get to do every day. But yeah, I mean, we're always just trying to find ways. Like we've done axe throwing. That was a lot of fun. A little dangerous if you're, having a bad day with somebody, but for the most part, it goes pretty well. Top golf is always a hit. I mean, there's so many ways to find things to do. I mean, you can do picnics, you can do whatever. So we're always just trying to find something to do as a group. But, like I was saying, even on the daily, just making sure there's things there, or, hey, you need lunch, or, just whatever it is. Can I help you with that? Are you having a hard time with that? Just being available, being able to be somebody that they can talk to and come to, and not be scared to do that, but that you're there to help them, whether it's tough or easy. I think that's the big thing, being a team player, right? Like that's what that's about. Not you're my team, I'm your boss. No, we're a team, and we're all team players, and we all have to contribute to that team to make it go. Nothing gets done all at once overnight. I mean, it's all building blocks. You have to start with something. what's the easiest thing to start with? Just being nice, like being helpful, being a team player. And then, hey, I'm getting a coffee. You want a coffee? Hey, you need lunch? Let me grab you lunch. Like, I think just doing that, right? We're just making sure there's snacks available for your team, or maybe it's in happy hour, little things like that, or just here's some movie passes I got, or whatever it is, just little gestures like that don't really take much time out of your day and are easy to do. And you're there anyway, and you're going to do it anyway. Just letting them know you're thinking about them. And I mean, that's probably a real easy thing to start with. And then, as far as events go, I mean, yeah, you don't have to start big. It could be anything. It could be, hey, let's do a barbecue, or let's do whatever. But just slowly adding to the things you do to grow your team and to grow that culture is all it takes. And just one thing will lead to the next, and your events will get bigger, your team will get bigger, and you'll just have to keep growing with it, basically. But yeah, I mean, you just have to have the right people. Like for example, my wife just walked in the room, but she's a big help with that stuff. Like, she's like, hey, we need to do something, have like, if it's leaning on someone else to help you, whether it's in your office or your spouse, like they help you to kind of keep things, plan things, and make sure that you're not forgetting about anybody. Because sometimes, we all get busy, and we don't always remember to take care of everybody as best as we should, or take people for granted. So it's important that we try to, once in a while check in with that, or have somebody there that can keep us in check, I should say. This is Andy Price. Thanks again for having me on another episode of the Broker Playbook. Look forward to the next one. Thanks, guys.